All right, I couldn't wait to have an Abdul Carter Blue Rush breakdown. Hands without a doubt his best game as a Giant. Way to respond to the criticism, to the critique, to the bad press. Way to respond by going out and leaving your mark on a football game. This was a huge game for him, so let's break this down. Let's watch this first play. It is the sack that he had, the lone sack that he had. Just watch his athleticism here, and then we'll break it down. Here he is in a wide nine technique. Bends, runs the gauntlet, gets the strip sack. Huge play in the football game. And this let me know that Abdul Carter was here to play. But let's break this thing down, because anytime you get Abdul Carter in a wide nine and he's getting a one-on-one with a tackle, tight end, back, doesn't matter, he better win. He should win this. You're the third overall pick. You're one of the guys on this defensive line. Here's your one-on-one to win. And he absolutely does that there. And he shows you why he was the third overall pick and why you can get excited about Abdul Carter going forward. So with this wide nine, what you see a lot of defensive ends do, since they're wide like that, if they can't beat this tackle or beat this blocker with speed, a lot of the times you see them get too far up the field to where they just get washed and ran by. They're not able to retract, get skinny, trim the fat, and get towards a quarterback's drop point. A lot of the times you see quarterbacks are able to step up, and again, like I said, these edge rushers or blitzers just get washed around. But one thing about Abdul Carter, and one thing about that makes him special, is his ability to bend, break, balance, and burst. And this is exactly what he does here. So when we get to this point of contact, and you see him dipping his shoulder, a dip and rip with this right shoulder, and he's coming up with this right arm. You see receivers do this at the line of scrimmage a lot. What this allows him to do is get under this right tackle here, and where he is winning when it comes with the leverage. So the fact that, look at where he is right now, and look in relation to this solid line right here. Again, a lot of the time these guys get pushed up or washed out or ran through. But look how he's able to win his leverage, but stay skinny, have balance, and not get pushed past this line that keeps him in phase to get after Mariota. Now, it helps that Dexter Lawrence is getting pressure up the middle, so Mariota can't step up in the pocket. But the fact that he's staying here allows Abdul Carter to come around the edge, get his hands in there, and force the fumble. Very O.C. Umenyiora-like. O.C. was the man when it came to these runaround sack fumbles and force these strip fumbles. How he would come around, beat that blocker, get his hand in there, and create the sack and the forced fumble. We saw O.C. do it all the time. Huge play by Abdul Carter there. That's the way to put your skill set on tape. Another one, we talk about the Giants' defense and how the Giants have been absolutely atrocious when it comes to their run defense. Kayvon Thibodeau has been out for a while, and one thing Kayvon does very well is he plays the run, meaning that he gets nasty, he gets dirty, he sets the edge, he takes on blockers, he's the one that tries to box these runs, and that's exactly what Abdul Carter does here against this run right here. So let's watch the play, then we'll go back and we'll break it down. Here he is. Fight, good fight. Way to keep that arm free, that shoulder free. Way to get in there, get nasty, and get in on the play. Tackle for loss, huge, another big play on the day. So you see this. You see the action coming right at him. You see this a lot when it comes to Michael Parsons, T.J. Watt, a lot of the top pass rushers in the league. Teams try and run at them. You try and break them down, wear them down, throw bodies at them continuously. So when you get to second and long or third and long passing situations, that pass rusher won't be as fresh as possible to rush or get after that quarterback. So you see the Commanders right here. the zone read action is coming towards Abdul Carter. Now, one thing that he does here that is absolutely phenomenal and kind of makes the play is he boxes this play. He sets the edge. The Giants, throughout the course of the season, have allowed these runs to hit the outside, and now these backs and ball carriers have had one-on-ones with corners or third-level defenders. And, you can make a guy miss or get up the field and get extra yardage. But the fact that he's playing this with the strength, being forceful with his left shoulder, having that left shoulder digging inside that blocker and keeping this right shoulder free and open, so if he needed to come off that and make the play, beeline it and make the play, there wouldn't be any false steps or crossover steps because his left foot's in the ground, his hips are open, almost face 45-degree angle or towards, splitting the difference between this hash mark and the sideline for him to be able to come off this and make a play if it did bounce to the outside. But he does a great job here by setting the edge and boxing this play to where now this running back or the ball carrier now thinks that this outside he can't get to the outside. He can't get to the perimeter. He's thinking put his foot in the ground and try and get skinny in this lane right here. Put his foot in the ground, get north-south. Makes sense, right? Because it looks like there's some sort of lane here. But if Abdul Carter continues to get pushed out and he continues to widen, this hole widens. He's got a blocker here, head-up blocker here. We've got Roy Robinson-Harris in pursuit, and he's the guy that can help make the play, running it down from the backside. But this play is made by Abdul Carter, putting his foot into the ground, being the anchor. And you see this running back now, because Abdul Carter's not getting washed out, and this hole now shrinks from what it looked like before. Look at that. When he puts his foot in the ground, look how big the hole is. When he decides to get north-south, to what it kind of looked like now, with now this tackle's butt being in the way. And not allowing this running back to get to a free release or free run to the outside, to the perimeter. Abdul Carter makes this play. Way to be strong in the run game, rookie. So again, 2 plays that he's been able to put on tape early in this game for the Giants defense to not only make some sort of sack fumble and create a big play rushing the passer, but also creating a big play in terms of a TFL, tackle for loss, by being able to set the edge on the run. When we talk about Abdul Carter, when he came out of Penn State, we saw how he played the Mike linebacker for the first X amount of years while he was there, and he would be head up over the center. You saw former defensive coordinator Shane Bowen kind of line him up like this in this position with Bobby Okereke throughout the beginning of the season when Michael McFadden went down, kind of got away from it, but now we see he's back. And this is what makes this kid so dangerous, is he's hard to block in space. Let's watch the play, and then we'll go back and we'll break it down. Ooh. 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 You could tell, he was feeling it after that play. He was feeling like he was having himself a big game, and the best was yet to come after you get up with the celebration like that. But this is, again, it's what makes this kid unique. It's what makes him special. You can line him up all over this front seven, all over the trenches. He can play anywhere. He is way too athletic for any of these centers to try and block him head up. Remember, all throughout the spring OTAs, all throughout training camp, we saw him hit his own center, John Michael Schmitz, with the spin move. We saw him do it in the joint practice, I believe against the Lions, but he definitely did it against the Jets. Put it on tape to where he would line head up with the center, and he'd beat him with just brute force or just with his quickness. And right here, man, this dude looks like Jalen Brunson right here without the basketball. Just crossed him over. When the head's down, you've lost. As a center, as a wide receiver, anyone trying to block, when your head gets down, you've lost, because now you've been faked. You've been duped. He just hits you with the side to side, with the oak. He just crossed him up in a phone booth and this allows him to get a tackle for loss for -4. So this, again, lining this kid up in different positions, lining him up all over this front seven, you can get the most out of Abdul Carter, and that's exactly what Charlie Bullen did. Interim defense coordinator Charlie Bullen was able to do in this Commanders game. He got the most out of Abdul Carter and allowed him to put his skill set on display. Huge play again. Huge play of the game. Now, last but not least, this was his biggest play of not only this game, but of his NFL career. The Giants were down, I believe, 8 points at this time. There's 2 minutes, something seconds left in the game. The Commanders are trying to run the clock out. You see Abdul Carter force his will and have a huge impact play on the game. If you're going to ask to unretire Lawrence Taylor's jersey, if you're going to be the 3rd overall pick, these are the moments where you have to show up, and this is what the rookie did. Let's watch the play. Get back to it. Bam. Huge play. Way to get on that rock. The way he hopped on that ball, that was his ball. He said, that's mine or nobody else's. So again, we talk about him being forceful, making an impact in the run. You know these are run downs. They're trying to run the clock out, at the end of the game, trying to get into some sort of victory formation. The Giants send a blitz. I think it's Tyler Nubin there. I'm not sure. I can't see right now. The Giants send the blitz. But again, he's setting this edge. He's set this edge. He's having this hand fight with this left tackle, kind of like he did last time. Last time, he had this left shoulder in to try and set the edge. Now they kind of got some hand fight. But look, right here, with T. Nubin inserting himself right here, this could easily bounce to the outside. He could try and cut that back. But right here, he has put himself in position to have a 2-on-2, to vice this. When we call a vice, when we're talking about, 2 defenders and a ball carrier, you vice it. You force him to the inside of you guys. You put a body on him. One guy puts the body, holds him up. The other guy goes in for the strip. So T. Nubin gets there, again, first guy, grab, hold him up. Second guy that gets there, get the ball. Go see ball, go get ball. And this right here, I don't know if he's meaning to try and rip it out or whatnot, but being able to get this ball out goes to show why this kid was drafted top 3 overall and why he's got huge expectations on him. This is just a big-time player making big-time play type moment. That ball comes out before the knee hit the ground. I actually thought it was going to get overturned and the runner was going to be called down. But you could see it here. You see this, you can't really see it, but his right arm is in there, and he's attacking this football to try and punch it out. Ball comes out, shooter's bounce, goes right into his hands. He gets up, trying to get jiggy with it, throws it back to Paulson to Debo, but he was marked down. Again, 7 tackles, 3 for loss, sack on the day, 2 forced fumbles on the day. Abdul Carter, take a bow. You had yourself your greatest game since you've been in the NFL. Now you've got 3 games to close this thing out, to close this season out, and all eyes are going to be on you, 51. All eyes are going to be on you against this Vikings offensive line, this Raiders horrible, putrid offensive line, and then you've got Dak Prescott and those boys coming back to MetLife Stadium to close out the season. Continue to put plays like this on tape. Continue to show the why Joe Schoen and these guys grabbed you with a 3rd overall pick. But all I can say is great job, 51. Great job, Rook. Way to put some great things on tape. Looking forward to seeing even more of it.